Taiwan, I'm Ethan Liu with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. The son of Taiwan's former president Chen has reported to prison to begin his term. Chen reported to the Kaohsiung prosecutor's office Thursday afternoon with his head shaved before serving his one-year sentence for his role in his family's money laundering case. The former Kaohsiung city councilor declined to take questions from reporters while his supporters gathered outside chanting Chen is a political victim. His father Chen himself also served time in prison for his own money laundering convictions. He's currently out on medical parole. It's emerged that a broken cable was behind the deadly metro incident in Taichung, where a crane boom that fell onto a nearby MRT track killed one and injured 10 others. The tragedy has renewed concerns about safety standards in the construction industry. Bing Wang reports.
A construction crane fell midday in the middle of a busy work week from the roof of a high-rise building onto the tracks in the central city of Taichung. The train was unable to stop in time before crashing into the crane. 10 people were hospitalized while one person has died. This video shows the wreckage inside one of the train's carriages.
一变问了，然后车子就停下来了，然后我只有看到那个鹰架出现在车厢里面。
我很清楚看到它是就是已经卡在轨道上面，让我们列车是直接撞上去的瞬间这样子。
Initial investigations found that the crane fell because of the cable holding it up broke. The Taichung city government and labor ministry have imposed a fine of around $36,000 on the construction company that managed the crane.
要重罚，而且要重重的赔偿，因为不只是打坏我们的这个捷运，那也同时呢，也造成我们营运的一个影响。
It was also found that the crane was old and the demolition process was flawed.
它应该是在拆卸的过程，可能是我们材料的老化，或是在作业的程序上可能有不注意，才会造成这样的结果。
According to the Labor Ministry, the company managing the project has reported 7 major construction site safety incidents over the last 5 years. This recent accident has reignited the debate about construction accidents near train railroads. In 2021, a Hualien train derailment that killed 49 people was also caused by a truck falling onto the track. Officials said they will review the guidelines for construction companies so that incidents like these won't keep happening. Alex Chen and Bing Wang for TaiwanPlus.
China has been ramping up military exercises around Taiwan, including a simulated blockade of the country. So just how long could Taiwan survive if it was cut off from the outside world? Sully Yansen takes a look.
It's not a scenario that many would like to think about. But China's 2 most recent military exercises have simulated a blockade of Taiwan. For an island country that relies heavily on imported goods, an actual blockade would threaten the supply of many essentials to 24 million people.
According to Taiwan's Food and Agriculture Administration, 70% of the country's food is imported. While the majority of fruit and vegetables are homegrown, these have a short shelf life of only 14 days. As for animal products, very little is domestically produced.
The only crop Taiwan produces enough of is rice. 1.1 million tons of it is in storage, which could last the country 10 months in the event of a Chinese blockade. But for other grains like soybeans, wheat and corn, Taiwan only produces 4% of its own supply, so these would not feed people for long.
之所以会这么低的原因呢，是因为国人的饮食西化，就导致我们的自给率呢，是低于其他的亚洲国家。
And when it comes to energy, virtually all of Taiwan's power comes from imported fossil fuels, coal, oil and gas. While oil supplies would last 5 months, coal would last 39 days and methane gas only 11 days. Taiwan is also reliant on pharmaceutical imports. 25% of the population, around 6 million people, have chronic illnesses. Over 1 million of them are dependent on medication with ingredients from China. Half of the ingredients for all of Taiwan's drugs are imported from its neighbour. So pharmacists here are pushing for a contingency plan in case of a Chinese blockade.
中国大陆如果不开心，把整个原料禁止到台湾，台湾要有应对的办法。 原料是不是可以考量其他的国家，还是台湾本土的制造原料厂跟他购买？
But other than potential domestic crises, a Chinese blockade of Taiwan could disrupt a key link in global supply chains. Taiwan's crucial semiconductor industry produces 90% of the brains of modern tech.
假设是真的有封锁，那其实这是全世界的大事情。我觉得中国也要考虑，这样的情形的，会引起全球的动荡的问题。
To prepare for any eventuality, Taiwan is looking to become more self-sufficient, working towards better food security by diversifying crops and encouraging people to buy local. The country is also pushing towards renewable energy, developing wind and solar power as it moves away from fossil fuels. It aims to boost renewables in its energy mix tenfold by 2050.
说任何的武器、军事装备都没有办法阻止太阳升起来，没有办法阻止风吹进台湾。所以我们的再生能源包含太阳光电跟风电。 就是说，依照这些地球物理条件而产生的电能，事实上就不容易受军事的封锁。
As for drugs, to reduce its reliance on China, Taiwan's pharmacists are calling for the costs of ingredients imported from elsewhere to be made more affordable.
当然，它的价格会比较高，但台湾的健保应该要去鼓励，如果原料不是来自中国，给它比较优惠的价格。
Should China's recent simulation become a real blockade of Taiwan, it would lead to a shortage of food, energy, and medicine, putting millions of lives at risk. So as Taiwan ramps up its efforts to protect citizens from military aggression, a move towards self-sufficiency would be just as vital. Chen, Harel Hughes, and Sally Jensen for TaiwanPlus.
An unidentified object burned up in the skies over Japan Wednesday night. It was also visible from Taiwan. Social media lit up with speculation about what the object might have been. Japanese officials have suggested it was space debris from the Chinese rocket launch. Alex Tichy, an astronomer at Taiwan's Academia Sinica Research Institute, agrees. He himself witnessed the event from Taipei.
It didn't look like a plane, didn't look like a meteor because it was traveling way too slowly for that. And so eventually I thought that maybe what this was actually was a spacecraft that's re-entering Earth's atmosphere. And it seems to be that that is actually the correct answer. It's a Chinese rocket, Long March 3B rocket that has entered the atmosphere. It was launched several months ago, and it's re-entering.
Farmed clams are dying in the thousands in southern Taiwan. That's because prolonged drought has caused a fatal spike in pond salt levels. Joyce Chen reports.
You're looking at about 100 tons of dead clams. Severe drought in southern Taiwan has meant some farmers have gone as long as 600 days with little or no rainfall. With no fresh water coming in, evaporation has caused salt levels in ponds to soar, effectively pickling the shellfish to death. The region is undergoing the worst drought Taiwan has seen in decades, with several farmers seeing serious threats to their livelihoods, and people in the sector are calling for government help.
海水绝对会浓度4度啦伊就影响伊的生长，若5度就可能影响伊的死亡恁若讲有这个发生这个死亡的情况，尽速赶咱公司来通报。
Farmers are banking on the seasonal monsoon rains for some relief. The so-called plum rains are forecast to arrive next week. Clam farmers hope rainfall will dilute the ponds enough that their clams will only get pickled after they're harvested. Chen and Joyce Chen for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, today we leave you with images of a new all-electric powerboat being tested out in Italy. I'm Ethan. Take care, and I'll see you next time.